Hello, good morning, and hello, good evening, and welcome to more Christmas Brew. Christmas Brew on Politics Social. I'm all discombobulated. We've changed it up. Everyone. Hello to Billy Kershaw, to Duke Vengeance, to Katrina, Hating Puds. We've got Plum Duff in the chat. We've got Diz in there as well. We've got I think that's everyone. Billy Kershaw. And just want to say Happy Christmas to one and all. If you would like to join our friends in the chat here, all you need to do, press the subscribe button. I hope you're having a good Christmas. We're going to kick back today. It is Christmas, after all. It is December the 25th, 2024. Traditionally seen as the day that Jesus was born, apparently. Even though it's only about 6 months after the Annunciation, but whatever. You know, who's keeping tabs on these kind of things, supernatural things? Katrina says, I guess it is morning somewhere. Yeah, it's morning in Australia. It's Boxing Day morning in Australia. And Doc Davis says, mushroom. To go with the badger, I guess. So, welcome. Today this evening we're going to be talking a little bit about AI. This is my brew. I'm drinking Madri Exceptional, which my effective brother-in-law brought, left it in the fridge, and no one drank it. So I'm drinking it. Hurrah! And I've got a little mug. I've got a glass with a snowman on. Merry Christmas, everyone. Says Sarah. Merry Christmas, Sarah. Merry Christmas to Doc Davis as well, and Chris Mack, and everybody in the chat. Today we're going to be talking about AI and how crap it is. How crap and terrifying it is. It's a bit like Trump, really, in a way. It's kind of crap, but also very terrifying. Or like Farage or Johnson. Crap, but also terrifying in equal measure. It doesn't do anything that you want it to do, does it? It's just, you type in, please do this thing, and then it always cocks it up. You ask it a question, and it gets it wrong. It tells you the opposite of what the real answer is. And Google are now like, oh no, you need this AI overview when you Google something, and it gets stuff wrong. You type stuff in. I think if you type in, who was the first person to visit every country in the world without flying, the AI gets it wrong. Just in case you were wondering, it was me. I've got the Guinness World Record. Well, that took them a year to adjudicate that record. Let's go through all my passport stamps, GPS points, over 1 million GPS points. They had to go through all my footage, all my photographs. That proved I've been to every country in the world without flying. And it took them a year. To do it. So yes, take that, Google. But also, it's been integrated into everything now. Like, it's on your phone, and like it's Copilot on Microsoft, which apparently records everything you do if you let it. If you say, yeah, sure, Microsoft, just record everything I do, everything that comes up on my screen, make a note of it. All right. So if you're watching something that maybe you shouldn't be watching on your screen, or maybe you've downloaded a movie that you shouldn't have downloaded, it's grassing on you all the time. It's like inviting Big Brother into your house, and no, it's all right. We're trying to make the AI better. I'm like, it's fine. You don't need to steal all my information to make the AI better. I'll tell you what, just don't call it AI, because it's not intelligence. Okay, it is artificial. It's not intelligence. It's effectively a very clever predictive text machine that makes predictive text. Pretty much, and up is better. Up. Phil uses AI for his thumbnails, says Gary Arnold. I use AI for my thumbnails. That picture there of the Christmas lights, that was made in AI. I didn't draw that. I can't draw that good. And if I take it off a Christmas card, a Hallmark Christmas card, I'm sure it's copyrighted. So yeah. What can I say? I use AI usually every day on using Photoshop, which I pay for. I pay for Photoshop, and it's cost so much money you would not believe. But yeah, Photoshop has a thing on it that basically means if you want to expand a scene. So if you've got a picture, this happens a lot with my thumbnails. I've got a picture and it's a landscape picture. and it doesn't quite fit into the half because I split the screen in half and half, right? It doesn't quite fit into the half. So what you do is you just do generative expand, and it just expands whatever it is on the page. It could be a wall. It could be someone's hat. It could be someone's hands. No, not their hands, because then it'll give them an extra fucking finger, because that's what happens. But the problem is with AI, which is what I find hilarious about it, is that it's garbage in, garbage out. So AI needs good quality information to learn off. Any large language model needs good quality information. But now a lot of the stuff coming into Copilot and ChatGPT and whatever Google thing is and Grok and etc. is being generated by AI. So instead of finding real reliable sources, it's finding AI sources to draw from, and it's getting it wrong. Meanwhile, Wikipedia is it needs your money. So if you're feeling generous this Christmas, you got 3 choices. Okay, well, you got 4 actually. You could give nothing to nobody. But if you want to drop a super chat on this channel, you're very welcome to do so. If you'd like to give me mate James some money towards his trip to Ukraine, where they had a car accident, they had to buy bloody winter tires. I'm gonna have to blog about all this because they're one hell of a time, and I don't mean that in a good way. 3 days, three nights they spent down in various basements sheltering from Putin's bombs. So if you want to give his Amy the Ambulance trip over to Ukraine, delivering Christmas presents to kids over there, if you want to give him some funds, the link is in the description. But also, Elon Musk has had another go at Wikipedia, the one bit of the internet that he can't exert control over. So go on, donate £1 to Wikipedia, because you know it's worth it. You know it's worth it. We have already 100 contracts in our home: toaster, fridge, heating, roof, etc. Gordon says, my car is full on Google operating system. It knows where I've been and suggests where to go, usually Aldi. AI is incredibly useful, but also dangerous, says Puninator, who has been a member for 9 months. And you get it. You get a little super chat animation. There you go. Cheers. Well done for being a member for 9 months. We've got over 100 members on the channel now. It's very exciting. Error 404, AI not found, says Duke, and Christina says AI doesn't exist. Yes, it doesn't, because it passes the Turing test, because it allows people to discuss stuff with someone and they think they're talking to a real person, and they can't distinguish whether they're talking to a real person or whether they're talking to AI, and that's or a robot, I should say. That's the Turing test, but the Turing test I don't think is sufficient. I think it's got to be the ability to take things in context, and it's a thing that modern architects and AI both struggle with greatly, is this concept of context and having things in context. That's why modern architects will build the most hideous shit next to an old stately home, or they'll tack a box on the side of a Gothic library, like in Manchester, or on the side of the oldest public building in Liverpool city centre. In the case of Blue Coat Chambers, they'll tack a box on the side of it. Or if it's a bigger building, they'll tack a box onto the top of it. They'll go, do you know what will look good on top of that? A shipping container with some windows on one side. Yeah, a shipping container on top of a Baroque style building, an Art Nouveau building. Do you know what will look good on top of that Art Nouveau building? A shipping container. That Georgian townhouse. Do you know what will look good look? Do you know what would be a really good look on the top of that Georgian townhouse? A shipping container. And you could look at that and go, these people, maybe they're not people. Maybe they're not real. Maybe it's AI. Just saying. But yeah. AI struggles with context. That's what it misses out on so many things. It can't just do things that humans can do instinctively, like 5 fingers. A child, when drawing a hand, will give the hand 5 fingers, almost instinctively, but also because the child can trace round their own hand. I guess if you want them to draw a hand, they know that hands have 5 fingers. If they have more than that, that looks a bit weird. I know cartoons generally have 4 fingers, and that's the thing in cartoons, but generally speaking, unless it's Gravity Falls, which have 5 fingers, unless you had 6. Anyway, get off topic. But yeah, the children instinctively know that because they're given the context. They know what a hand is for. They know what it does. And also what a child can do is do lettering. AI still really, really struggles with lettering. Like, it doesn't know that they're supposed to. You can say, I want this written on the side of a van. Create me a van with this written on the side of it, and it just fucks it up. I mean, it just really, really struggles with putting words on, because it has no context to the words. It doesn't know what the words mean. It's just going, okay, well, this looks a bit like a bunch of other pictures that are put together, a collage to make this work. And when you ask for something specific, like a word on the side of a crate or a billboard or something like that, it just breaks down. It just goes, I can't do this. And I mean, maybe the new versions can sort this out. I haven't seen it yet, but what concerns me is that AI seems to be another case of the internet is just an absolute nonsense machine. It just churns out bullshit at a level that humans can't deal with. And this goes back to the early chain mails of the late 90s, early 2000s. Remember the chain mail? Send this to 5 people and your luck will change. And then we had conspiracy theories that would go via chain mail. This is before social media. And then as social media came along, oh my God, it gave the conspiracy theorists just, it was manna from heaven for them, because they could spread their utter nonsense far and wide. And that led to the rebirth of such movements as the anti-vax movement, which really took off in a big way thanks to the internet, and also the flat Earth movement, which is just as daft. But yeah, it really does bother me that there are people out there who go, and the whole thing of the arms race between germs and human beings that's been going on for millennia. Yeah, I'm on the side of the germs. I want the germs to succeed. Let's see what those germs can do. Let's see what they can mutate into if they're replicated a million or say a billion or maybe 8 billion times. There'll be some really interesting mutations come of that virus that goes around the entire population of the planet. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get that out there. Vendetta says, if I was an artist, if I was a rich man, I'll set up the server such that any request from an .ai domain I'll send back with fuck off AI and also porn. Just a collage of vag and cocks would be funny. It says Vendetta. Yeah, some people are doing that. They're setting it up so they say that the image that they're generating on their art site is a cat, but it's actually a dog, or vice versa, or it's a cloud. Just to someone types in, like, I'm on a cloud, and it comes up with cats, and they're like, why is this happening? And it's because people are feeding in nonsense on purpose to mess with the algorithm, which I think is fair enough, to be honest with you. If you're going to steal people's art, then I wish I took AI at uni now. My car is full on. I've read that one. My dumb university made me learn small talk. What? Is that a thing? Is that an actual... You've given it a capital S. Is that a programming language that I've never heard of? Billy Kershaw, humans can hold two paradoxical ideas in the head at the same time. Well, mine can't. Well, yeah, you're right, Billy. I mean, a lot of people have cognitive dissonance in it, so... eternally frustrating for many of us. Raiders of the Lost Ark, best way to spend Christmas night. Yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark was on TV. I think it's still on TV, isn't it? It's on BBC One, wasn't it? But we watched Doctor Who, which was good, and Wallace and Gromit, which was excellent. Love a bit of Wallace and Gromit. Excuse me while I cough. One moment. There you go. Colin says, Graham, you've earned a day off. Well, sorry, mate. I don't get a day off. Bob Cratchit, that bloody layabout, he gets a day off, don't he? The freaking skiver. But unfortunately, I don't get a day. I don't get it. You don't get a day off when you're a YouTuber. You earn about £5 a day. Come on. You've got to get out there, man. You've got to get out there. Yeah, small talk is a computer language. Obsolete now, says Katrina Bright. Never even bloody heard of it. I've seen it. I've heard of C and C++ and C++. Never heard of small talk. Heard of Python. And Basic. Oh, good old Basic. Love Basic. Channel 4, Graham. Oh, sorry. Raiders is on Channel 4. One of the greatest films ever made. Obviously, a huge influence on me and my life. I saw the third Indiana Jones movie at the cinema. I was a bit upset at the time because it meant I had to I had to miss Garfield and Friends. True story. Anyway, 1989. No, 1990 it would have come out here because everything came out like a year after it came out in America, didn't it? Back in the day. So, watch that and also watch Wallace and Gromit, which was great. But then EastEnders came on and it was just like, yeah, the world's depressing enough without watching the EastEnders Christmas special. Squeak is an implementation of Smalltalk. Well, there you go. I can't even speak my own language. I'm going to add another one. Hey, Duke. That's my joke. People say, how many languages do you speak? And I say, I hardly speak English. Vendetta saying, maybe instead of 6 fingers per hand, there'll be a mixture of fingers and cocks. Jesus, man. I've recorded Wallace and Gromit. Raiders of the Lost Ark is 43 years old, says Gareth T. Yeah. Not making me feel much younger there. It's actually 44 years old. It made 1980, wasn't it? It came out in 1980. Graham, you haven't moved. Oh, no, it was 1981. You are right. I'm getting it mixed up with Empire Strikes Back, which was 1980. So you're right. 43 years old. I walk that back, what I just said. Graham, you haven't moved off the seat since you got back. Take your phone out for a walk. Egypt. So I literally have moved off this seat. I've been over to the couch and everything. They said Smalltalk was a pure object-orientated language, and it is. Well, there you go. Objective C++ it used the Smalltalk like object orientation. You guys seem to know a lot more about programming languages than I do. Let me just tell you that now. But yes, so we are currently barreling towards 2025 at a great rate of knots, and it seems like a lot of mad shit is all coming at the same time. It's like a tidal wave of mad shit, not just shit, just mad shit. So we are going to have Trump as the most powerful man in the world. I think he's going to do a shitload of damage to America. As anyone saw my video that I posted yesterday, Graham doesn't have a great view of this guy or of America now. I mean, we're already seeing stories of things like the firefighters union in New York going, oh, hang on, why have you getting rid of our medical cover for 9/11? Because you voted for the Republicans, mate. You voted for Trump. This is what you get. I know you didn't expect the leopards to eat your face, but they will. They'll eat all your faces. So I never expected the leopards to eat my face. Will be Christmas #1 for the next few years, I think. It's going to be Song of the Year at least. But we've got that. And then you've got this AI revolution. And I'm just thinking back now, like, when we started pissing around with AI art, it's probably about 2 years ago now. So we've had 2 years of this. And to me, I don't feel like I'm an expert in any way, shape, or form when it comes to AI. I just, I'm just like, okay, I find it a bit weird. There were people putting themselves out there going, I know the correct prompts to put in to get out what you want. You can put in any prompts, mate. You're still going to get garbage coming out most of the time. You've got to check everything. You have to check everything. It's like being a school teacher and having particularly dim children in your class. Like, you've got to check everything that they write because 9 times out of 10 it's going to be wrong. But also, like I say, I'm not an expert, right? I am pretty good at Photoshop in that I know my way around Photoshop. So I know where everything is, right? So Photoshop to me is like a supermarket that I visit every day, and I know where every item is in that supermarket. How to make the items, I have no clue. How they get there, I wouldn't really be able to help with that. Sorry. How they get packaged, all that kind of stuff. So actually, drawing, I'm not particularly gifted, not like Mike Dix, who's fucking amazing and can draw up the 3D rendered models of anything. He's really, really talented. And I'm not when it comes to the art side of things, I'm not particularly talented. And also when it comes to the design side of things, like, I crib off other actual designers. The politics social what's it called? The Rose here, which was the Labour Social Rose. But that was designed by a guy called Scott Jones, who used to run Juno Studios in Liverpool. They're the people who came up with the album covers for the Arctic Monkeys, everything people say I am, that's what I'm not. They did the cover design for the Coral, for the Zootons. They did it. They did I think they did Reverend and the Makers as well, if you remember them, and a few others. Like, they were an absolutely shit hot design house. and they can put designs together, and it's just stunning. It's like, it looks amazing, and I'm always a bit in awe of that. So the ability to do that, I do not have, right? Cards on the table. I know my way around Photoshop. I've been using it for over 25 years now. Jesus Christ. I remember my first project on Photoshop was I was designing some flyers for a night I was putting on it was like 70s soul and funk, and it was called Shafted. And what I needed to do, I needed to get the Richard Roundtree poster, the Shaft poster, and I needed to shop it so that instead of saying shaft, it said shafted. So I had to create letters for it, and that was more than 25 years ago. Oh my god. Anyway, the point I wanted to make is that I am very good at looking at an image and going, that's AI, like straight away, especially if it's a human being. Like I'm really not pulled into it. There's always something uncanny valley about it to me, but I know that not everyone sees it that way. Some people look at it and go, "Oh, yeah, that's real." And Abe Thompson's all over this. Abe Thompson reckons that AI is going to be the end of us all because some bullshit of Biden having sex with a goat or something is going to go, viral all around the world before anyone, gets a chance to say, no, it's AI. And I do think there needs to be robust laws to be brought in. I really feel there should be proper laws brought in against using someone's image without their consent. That's the rule, okay? And I think that it is mad that we live in a country, and this predates AI, this predates the fucking internet, right? This is the situation we have at the moment, right? So imagine you are a young woman and you decide to make some money by doing some nude photographs, right? And then you get a job. Years later, you get a job in the cabinet or something, right? And you contact the photographer who took those photographs back when you were, 18 years old, and you say, I don't want you to put those photographs anywhere. Legally speaking, those photographs of that person are not that person's. They are the photographer's. Even, and this is the maddest bit about it, even if the subject didn't consent to being photographed. So you have situations like when Miley Cyrus or whoever gets photographed outside a nightclub, getting into a car with no knickers on or something, and then they use that picture snapped by a pap on their Instagram feed. They get sued by the person who took the photograph of them. That's crazy. That is absolutely fucking bonkers. That rule needs to go, and it needs to go immediately. That rule should have gone years ago because it's disgusting. It's immoral. How can you have a law saying that you can chase a woman through a park wearing night vision goggles and you can record it as video, and then that video is yours for eternity? And if she says, no, I want it deleted, it's horrible. You go, no, sorry, I recorded it. It's my video now, and I no, just no. So we need the law to catch up, because if you have that rule, then you could go against deep fakes. You could go against these pornographic images that are being made of these big stars doing things, with their face grafted onto another woman's body, effectively another woman's face, I guess. There would be laws against that. And also, when you're dealing with porno sites, the worst thing you can do is just ban them. All right, just no. What you do is regulate them. You say that certain types of video, certain imagery may not be shown in this country. That's it. Obviously, people can use VPNs, and we've had this discussion before, but the vast majority of people don't use VPNs. They don't know what a VPN is. It is above their pay grade, especially if they're getting on a bit, right? So, yeah, not much you can do about VPNs, but generally speaking, if you said, people were signed up to a particular porn site and they're paying money for premium content, or an OnlyFans site, in the UK or elsewhere, and you're paying for it, then you've got to use the British VPN for it, a British network for it. Still, maybe use a VPN, but a British VPN. So it's going through, I don't mean a British VPN, a VPN that is going through Manchester or London or Sheffield or somewhere. Python is the new daddy, talking about coding again and more hardware than software. Oh, Duke. Twas my degree, says Vendetta. Greetings from New York, says Colin. Hey, Merry Christmas to everyone. That's really nice. Gareth says, I was released the same year I was born, Graham. Oh, wow, 1981. You're 2 years younger than me, you young whippersnapper. Thumple Thin Skin. That's from Trumple Thin Skin. That's from Duke. I wonder how long the uprising will take. There is already a collage of fannies and cocks. It's P. Giga's penis landscape. Sorry, I'm 11 minutes behind. HR Giga, who was the guy who did the illustrations that eventually went on to become the inspiration for the xenomorph in Alien. In fact, when Alien was written, the script was written by Dan O'Bannon. They didn't really know what he wanted the alien to look like. He just wanted it to be really alien, I guess. What was the alien script was called Star Beast, but before then it was called something else that was just like bonkers. It was because Dan O'Bannon's like proper crazy. It's like his ideas were just nuts. But yeah, his idea was to have this alien, which would eventually become Ripley, essentially in the script. But yeah, when they were putting the movie together, the director Ridley Scott and the people who worked on it, Dan Suchet was it, who worked on it as well. They were looking for inspiration for this alien, and they came across these H.R. Giga images, this Swiss artist, and he had one called like the Necromonicon or something, which is the Book of the Dead, but it wasn't called the Necromonicon. It was something like that anyway. And you'd look at it and go, oh, it's an alien, and it was just like a beast with like an elongated penis for a head, and that's basically what became the alien. But yeah, fascinating stuff. But yeah, Alien, absolutely fantastic movie, one of the best movies ever, and also just proof of my theory, my pet theory, that anything is better if it's set in space. You know, Forbidden Planet, it's The Tempest in space, it's better. You know, you got Alien, haunted house film, but it's in space. It's better. You know, I mean, Star Wars Episode 1, it's C-SPAN, but in space. Okay, that's maybe not better. Anyway, moving on. What was the alien called? Bob. Something like that, yeah. You watch Alien again, it's bad, says Billy. No, it's not. The original Alien is really good. I watched Alien Romulus on the plane on the way over here. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. The only bits that I didn't enjoy, and I mentioned this on the show the other day, was there were a couple of callbacks to the other movies that just didn't need to be in there. Really didn't need to be in there. And you'll watch it and you go, yeah, they really did not need to be in there. It was still a good movie. You didn't need those callbacks to the other movies, except for people like me to go, oh yeah, it's in the other movie. I hate it. Bloody aliens going around aliening all over the place. Cabin in the Woods was effing brilliant, says Vendetta. It was very good, wasn't it? While I agree on the X-rated stuff, we also need to consider AI could be incredibly useful. I went to a talk on the potential medical implementation of it. We could save a lot of lives, says Puninator. Yes, you are absolutely right. And like the internet, AI or large language models can be used in really, really effective ways that can better mankind. But also there's a dark side to it. Like with any new technology, the answer isn't to ban it. God no, the answer is to regulate it properly so that the bad actors who want to use it for evil can't, and the people who want to use it for good are given the tools that they need to do that. And that's exciting. There's a really exciting thing. So if you have, I don't know, in a medical context, you have like thousands and thousands of x-rays to go through to look at particular patterns in people with particular ailments or whatever. And you know, you can do that. You can sort of hunt for patterns brilliantly using AI. You can do it even down to like a microscopic level. in a way that just the human eye cannot do. It'll just take too long to go through each slide and go, oh yeah, that's a bit like that one, it's a bit like that one. And I'm thinking like there's like the project, SETI at home project and things like that, where people will spend hours. I spent time helping out with Stern stuff. There's also Fold It, which is a protein thing, where people are spending a lot of time, a lot of processing power for us, going through these things, because machines weren't very good at doing that. But now machines are getting better at doing it. And there is going to be a point where they are way better than crowdsourcing this information. And for, I can't remember whether it was SETI at home or something else, but it was, or Zoo, was it? It was called like Galaxy Zoo. Do you remember Galaxy Zoo? And it was just, you had to say whether it was a spiral galaxy, a blob, I don't know what the word for it was, but an elliptical galaxy, something like that, like a circular galaxy, or whether it was a bar galaxy, and you just had to say which type it was. So it was a bit like the whole, click on the images of spiral galaxies to prove you're not a robot. But now robots are getting better at doing that, so you're doing that to prove you're not a robot. It's not going to work much longer. Troll Hunter with English subtitles, other subtitles available. Cabin in the Woods, brilliant. My next machine is an effing beast. Oh wow, we got super chat. Woo! Oh, thank you, John. You've made it all worthwhile. Thank you very much. Just watched Alien Romulus, our Christmas Day movie. Edge of the seat stuff. Glad they went back to the origins after Prometheus, etc. Yeah, absolutely, John. Couldn't agree with you more. It's a lot better than Prometheus. It's a lot better than Alien Covenant, which was shite. I mean, but I can, whenever there's a chestburster scene in an Alien movie now, all I can think of is the singing alien from Spaceballs that sings, hello, my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my rectangle. And Alien Covenant did that, absolutely did that to the ninth degree, because the chestburster didn't look like a chestburster from any of the other movies. It looked like a miniature alien, like in Spaceballs, and it reminded me of the bit in James Bond where it turned out that Blofeld was his long-lost brother or something. I'm like, why are you using plot points from a spoof of your movies? Like, why would you do that? And also, at least in Alien Romulus, I don't want to give anything away for people who haven't seen it yet. I think it's pretty good. Like, it's not amazing. It's not like groundbreaking or anything. But the effects look really nice. There's a lot of actual puppetry in there, so it's physical effects, so it's not that CGI shitness that we all saw in Alien 3. Oh my god. That was the first 18 I ever saw at the cinema, Alien 3. Wow, that's going back a bit, innit? Anyway, moving on. I found a bunch of my old cinema tickets the other day, and I saw that I had a ticket for Being John Malkovich. I saw it at a preview screening 6 months before it came out. 6 months before it came, because it got released in the UK, I think, around April 2000. Someone could look it up, I'm sure, if you've that asked. But I had a ticket seeing it in October or November of the year before. And I remember seeing this movie and just it blowing my mind and not being able to tell anyone about it because it would kind of spoil it if I did. But also, I couldn't really explain it because it's just too mad. It's just a movie that you just gotta have to go and see. But yeah, Alien Covenant was just such a bad movie on so many levels. But I think beyond anything, in Alien Romulus, the characters do some things that, like the people are clever. They come up with inventive solutions to the problems they are faced with, which I always appreciate. I love it when people, The Martian or MacGyver, their way out of a situation, and it's clever, and you think, oh yeah, that's yeah. And there's a particular scene in Alien Romulus, if you've not seen it, if you watch it, there's a particular scene where you go, yeah, oh god, yeah, that's smart, that's. Might not have thought that. That's good. But yeah, in Alien Covenant, oh my god, they're so stupid. They're so stupid. Like, they are literally the stupidest people who ever spaceshipped anywhere in the history of stupid. It's like Idiocracy, but set on a spaceship with aliens. They go down onto an alien planet, and I'm like, what's his name in Galaxy Quest? Sam Rockwell in Galaxy Quest, because he's like a red shirt. If you've ever seen Galaxy Quest, it's a piss take of Star Trek. And they go to an alien planet, and he's like, "What are you doing? Is there air? You don't know?" And it's like, yeah, they use that all the time in Everything Wrong With, by the way. You've seen that? Is there air? You don't know? And it's like, they go to this alien planet without space helmets on. They're just walking along going, oh yeah, the air's breathable. I'm sure there's no pathogens in the air. I'm sure there's no alien spore that I could inhale or anything. It's just like, oh my God. They're so... all the decisions they make are so dumb. And you're watching it going, I hate this. It's an insult to my intelligence. Whereas Alien Romulus didn't have that problem. I'm not saying it's brilliant, but it's a lot better than what we've had before. Puninator, thank you so much for the Christmas £5 super chat. That's really very kind of you. Wait, you've got a movie called Alien. That's really offensive. No wonder everyone keeps invading you. Please, someone get this reference. I don't know, Puninator. That's I couldn't say. I it's not like I can look at that and go, yeah, that sounds familiar. I'll try and remember from the back of my head what movie that's from. Wait, you've got a movie called Alien. That's really offensive. No wonder everyone keeps invading you. Don't know. It might be a movie I've not seen. Let me know. I just bought Alien Romulus by mistake. I've come on holiday by mistake. We went to a screening of Touching the Void at a very small place in Newcastle. Evening, everyone, says Leapshin. Just back from visiting friends and family. Had lots to drink, so I'm half rubbered. Oh, brilliant. Saw the Alien prequel. Still not seen the sequels, says Vendetta. Yeah, Alien is good. Aliens is good. The rest, yes, Honda with leg shields, red popular, 3-speed, centrifugal clutch. You can bump start it with the fuss of the hips. What are you talking about, Billy? Love that film. Use the Schwartz, says Colin from Spaceballs. Duke Vengeance. I'm going to the... God. Tim Curry, Alien, Red Alert 3. I'm going to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space! I love that. Is Spaceballs the one with Lord Buckethead? Says Fax. No, Spaceballs is the one with Lone Star and Yogurt and Barf the dog and a princess from Druidia who, funny, she doesn't look Druish. And Lord Buckethead was from a movie called Gremloids, and it's also known as Hyperspace. And yeah, the obviously the guy who does Count Binface used to be Lord Buckethead, but then the copyright police came along and said, change it. Dr. Davis says, did you like the thing? Bloody loved it. Not the original. The remake, the 80s remake with Kurt Russell. That's the gold standard. That is one of the best alien horror movies of all time. Absolutely fantastic. Nothing wrong with it. And then they remade it, didn't they? They did like a prequel called The Thing. Do you remember it came out in like 2011 or something? When they were just remaking literally everything. They remade RoboCop. They remade Total Recall. Why remake? And part of the... And like completely, the RoboCop remake, please don't watch it. It completely lost the satire of the original. It's as though someone remade Starship Troopers and took out all the jokes that are really obvious if you know that it's a satire. Because they didn't... John Carpenter, brilliant. Can't disagree there. Vendetta, absolutely love John Carpenter. I mean, he hit his stride in the 80s. He was just knocking them out the park. And then he did like a vampire in Brooklyn or something. What was that shit movie with guy from Trading Places, Eddie Murphy? A vampire in Brooklyn, was it? It was a John Carpenter movie. It was fucking awful. I all went downhill from there. Poinator, it's from the best Doctor's Best Christmas special, Capaldi and Last Christmas, the 2014 Doctor Who Christmas special. I never saw that one. Oh, that's why I didn't get that reference. I've not actually seen that Capaldi Doctor Christmas special. But there you go. I don't particularly like Doctor Christmas Special, although this Christmas special was good in that it did have a go about the fact that people were dying in hospital of COVID and they were all partying in number 10. And they do actually mention that in Doctor Who. And I was like, hey, what's that smell? Oh, hang on. A drag artist won Strictly as well. What's that smell? Oh, it's roast gammon. Would you like some pineapple rings for your roast gammon, Grandad? Anyway, moving on. Alien loved it, but it's bad. Alien's not bad. Lord Helmet. I've seen Alien, Aliens, and the prison one. Dark Helmet. It's Dark Helmet, not Daft Helmet. Dark Helmet. The sequel to The Thing is supposed to be decent. Not seen it. It's a prequel that I saw. The one that I saw, it was like it was how the dog at the beginning of The Thing had the thing inside it, essentially. But there you go. Here's a question which really life cult inspired for outfits for the. Here's a question. What real life cult inspired the outfits for The Handmaid's Tale? I don't know. I had to read The Handmaid's Tale in school, you know. I read it for my A-levels. Can't complain about sci-fi remakes when Pride and Prejudice is remade every 2 years. No, I don't have a problem with remakes necessarily, okay? Because in the same way I don't have a problem with sequels. Like, I have no problems with sequels. I'll say this a million times. The oldest book in the Western canon, the oldest novel, if you like. I know it wasn't a novel, but the oldest sort of story that's been written down that we have is the Iliad. It had a sequel, The Odyssey, apparently written by the same author. Probably wasn't, but there you go. The Old Testament has a sequel, the New Testament. Shakespeare wrote sequels. Antony and Cleopatra is a sequel to Julius Caesar. He wrote Henry VIII. Henry the Fourth, Part 1 and Part 2. They're two separate plays. Like, he wrote sequels. Lots of them, actually. I think he wrote. There's a story that he wrote, Love Labour's Lost, which was like a sequel to Love Labour's 1, or the other way around. I've forgotten what it's called. Anyway, but yeah, he wrote sequels, and then you've got the books of the sort of the Great Victorian Age. There were loads of sequels out, and when movies first started, there were tons of sequels and remake. You know, The Wizard of Oz that everyone goes on about, the 1939, I think, Julie Garland version. That was a remake. That had already been made. Ben-Hur, the one with Charlton Heston, that had already been made back in like the 30s. One of my favourite movies of all time. I've actually got the poster of it downstairs here in the house. Is His Girl Friday. His Girl Friday with Cary Grant, and I forgot the name of the woman in it. Shit, it's going to haunt me. But yeah, the His Girl Friday was a remake of the front page, which had been made like 7 years earlier in the 30s as a serious film, and then they went, let's make a screwball comedy out of it because it's a funny and then that got remade again as broadcast news, and it's probably been remade a bunch of times. But yeah, I have no problem with remakes. This is what I would say: if you're going to have a remake, it's got to improve on the original. And what annoys me is when they take a film that's perfectly good, it's a good, solid film, and there's no reason to make a remake of it, and they make a remake anyway. So the remake of Gus Van Sant's remake of Psycho is the ultimate example of just, what the hell was that made? Maybe it was for copyright reasons, to keep the Psycho copyright with the company that made the film. I don't know. But it was a shot-for-shot remake. Thanks for that, I guess. I suppose. Yeah, but the Thing improved, the 1980s Thing that I grew up with improved on the 1950s Thing. Or The Thing from Outer Space, as it was called back in the 50s. And there were loads of examples, like Little Shop of Horrors, the 1980s musical with Rick Moranis. That improved on Little Shop of Horrors from the 1950s or whatever it was. So yeah, there was I don't have any problem with, but it annoys me when they take films that don't need to be remade and remake them for no seemingly good reason, as if there are no new stories to tell. And also, when there's a movie that really probably could do with being remade for various reasons, it wasn't as amazing as it should have been. I think that's I'm all happy for a remake to be made, but when something's so of its time, I mean, there's a remake of Highlander. I think that's on the cards. I don't know how I feel about that because it's shit. Like it's really badly directed. It's really badly acted. The script is fucking awful, but it's such a great film. It's like it shouldn't work, but it does. Now, if they remake it with better special effects and better acting, but with pretty much the same plot, I'll be quite happy. But it would have to have the Queen songs. Like if it didn't have the Queen songs, that would just go back and ruin it for no reason whatsoever. A bit like any sequel to the Highlander films ever came out. I don't think there were any sequels. I just don't believe there are any sequels. But yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I'll need to have a good reason for there to be a remake. And if there was a movie that was stymied by maybe the special effects that were available at the time, fine, remake it. Remake the Westworld as Jurassic Park. Remake the what's it called? Forrest Gump as Benjamin Button if you really need to. Same writer on both. If a story's worth telling, it's worth telling again by the same author or screenwriter. And he says the problem is the commodification of narrative. When a story is made just for income, it becomes pointless and passionless. Yes, I agree. The 80s Blob is just as good and even better than the 1950s film. Vendetta, I do not disagree. The 50s did have Steve McQueen in it, actually. But you are right. The Wizard of Oz is a gay icon movie, says David Tuado. I watched Wicked the other day. It's great, really good. The Wizard of Oz to me is a wonderful story about atheism. I'll come on to this in a moment because Puninator's just dropped £20 in the Super Chats. Hope Puninator's not trying to convert me to Christianity by bribing me with Super Chats. It might work. Thank you so much, Puninator. Merry Christmas to you and yours for the £20 Super Chat. That's really nice. I don't think the remake needs to improve, but just try something different. Some films are already perfect, but have numerous themes capable of to explore. I liked the Netflix Avatar remake, but didn't improve it per se. So you're talking about Avatar, not the. You're talking about The Last Airbender, which I mean. The problem is, right, in the UK, bender means one of two things, right? Doesn't mean someone who bends something in the UK. It's either a slang, possibly derogatory term for someone who's gay, or it means drinking all weekend, right? Going on a bender. And both of those things make absolutely no sense when said by a character in a film who says, I am an airbender. Oh, are you an airbender? Okay, well, I'm a sea bender. Oh, okay, you're a water bender, sorry. Yes, and this guy over here, they're the fire benders. And it's like, I tell you what, here's what you do, right? Where's this set? China? Is it China? Is Avatar The Last Airbender set in China? Okay. Get the Chinese word for bender and use that. So it could be something that sounds a bit like Jedi or something. So what are you? I am an air Jedi. Okay, well, I'm a fire Jedi. A word that means nothing in English. It means bender, someone who bends stuff in the original Cantonese, Mandarin, Japanese, South Korean, whatever language, Taiwanese, whatever language, the movie's set in, fine. But to our Western ears, I mean, especially in the UK, I just can't take a movie seriously. Where they go, oh my God, are you the last bender? And the music stirs and you're kind of like, did no one tell them? Funnily enough, in the one of the first novels, spin-off novels from Star Wars, was called a book called Splinter of the Mind's Eye. This is going way back into Star Wars lore. I've forgotten the name of the guy who wrote it, but I'm sure he did the novelizations for like Aliens and stuff, and Alien and things. But anyway, the guy who wrote it, in the original, he wrote two of them. There was Splinter of the Mind's Eye, and then there was another one. And in it, like, Luke and Leia properly get it on, because back then they didn't know they were brother and sister, because George Lucas hadn't invented that bit of the story yet. But also, they have a robot in it called Bollocks. Like Bollox. Bollocks, that's the name of the robot in the book. Because in American English, that doesn't mean anything. But in British English, it literally means bollocks. But there was a robot called Bollocks in the Star Wars book. Don't forget to bring your bollocks with you. Yeah, oh, where's Bollocks? Oh, we need to go and get Bollocks. We need to rescue Bollocks from the evil clutches of Darth Vader. He's got his hands all over my Bollocks. His filthy claws all over my favourite robot, Bollocks. But yeah, lost in translation. But yeah, the film adaptation of The Last Airbender was absolutely appalling. M. Night Shyamalan, he is an awful director. Like, he has ideas, I think, but it just, his execution. I mean, like, obviously, Sixth Sense, fantastic. I won't have a word turning against it. But then since then, it's just been like a law of diminishing returns. Every movie he makes just seems to get worse than the last one. Although I'm told the latest one, where it's like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse come to a cottage somewhere and someone's got to die to save the world or whatever, it's supposed to be all right. But yeah, The Last Airbender, I remember seeing it on I want to say that I saw it on a coach in Borneo. I was on a coach going through Malaysia on my way to Brunei, Borneo, Malaysia, on the way to Brunei, and Airbender was on, and I just sort of sat there, just mindlessly watch it, just going, "Oh my god, this is really, really bad." And one of the most offensive things about it was like the fact that they mixed around the ethnicities of the people in it. And isn't it mad that like you have movies like Avatar or like Doctor Strange, where the ancient one who's supposed to be a Tibetan monk type person is played by a white British actress who went to private school, of course. Isn't that a little bit? Yeah. And then you've got the Prince of Persia. Shouldn't it have been someone from Iran? You know, someone with Iranian heritage. Maybe it could be Novak. What's his name? The guy who plays the main vampire in What We Do in the Shadows, the TV series. He's Iranian, like Iranian heritage. Get him to play the Prince of freaking Persia. Why are you getting Jake Gyllenhaal? Why just? But then you had Yul Brynner playing the king of fucking Thailand, and no one gives shit about that. But then you try and change the ethnicity of a fictional character, which doesn't matter because it's nothing to do with who they are, where they're from. Suddenly people are in uproar about it. Well, you know, the Gams or Ovs. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up in about 8 minutes' time because Alan Dean Foster, thank you very much, Night Parade. That was it. It was Alan Dean Foster who wrote Splinter of the Mind's Eye, and he also wrote the Alien and Aliens novelisation, and the Alien 3 novelisation, which I own. Sure, I've probably got them on the shelf over there. They might be upstairs, actually. They might be in the bedroom. How's the new robot coming along? It's bollocks, mate. It's the reason I couldn't go to Novak Kovic. Novak Djokovic. No, that's not his name. Novak Kovac. What? Novak Kovac? Duke Vengeance. The different nations in Avatar represent different cultures. The Water Tribe are Inuit. The Earth Kingdom are Chinese. The Air Nomads are Tibetan monks. And the Fire Nation are Imperial Japan. Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, it's a great. It's the TV series, the cartoon. Yeah. Kaivan Novak from Four Lines. Yeah, and he also was Phone Jacker. You remember Phone Jacker on Channel 4? That's him. That was him. I'm a mouse. I've got to get. Let me go and see. I've got some Alan Dean. What's his name? Books. Let's have a look. Alex Garland. I've got some Alex Garland books. I've got some Red Dwarf books. I've got all the Odyssey, the 2001: A Space Odyssey books. What have we got? Flash for Freedom. Shit, no, don't have them here. Oh well, I thought that would have been fun if I'd been able to show you. Look in here. Are they in there? Jurassic Park, Star Wars: A New Hope. No, The Quiet American. God damn it. Oh well, I thought that'd be fun. I thought I'll show you some alien books, but never mind. Oh well, never mind. Jack Kerouac on the road. Right. Ugh. Sorry, back with you now. Terry Tibbs. Terry Tibbs, yeah, that was him. I must reclaim my honour, says Duke Vengeance. Alan Dean Foster did the brilliant Spell Singer series. But didn't he go mad? Was it him who went like mad Trump, cold lunatic? Was that Alan? Didn't he go like really racist or something? Was that Alan Dean Foster? Someone tell me. Graham, I went to an Elon Musk robot to call him Graham, and I have what? That's just strange, David. Aliens, the bollocking. Yeah, and Terry Tibbs, you talk to me. But you know, this is what I got for Christmas. This is one of the things I got for Christmas. Got the Lonely Planet: Wonders of the World book. It's very exciting, and I don't mean to brag, but I have been to a substantial number of the wonders of the world, and they're wonderful. You know, they're wonderful. What happened there? He moved. Does not confuse. Graham, do you have Rocky Horror Picture Show? I love that film. I don't have it on DVD or not. I don't really. I never had that many DVDs. I do have some, but I liked the bonus features of DVDs, and that's something that I think that streaming really misses out on. Like, they should offer you the chance, and I don't know if they. I'm not. You know, explore more. So you watch a film and then you press stop, and it says explore more of the world of the Terminator or Aliens or whatever it is, and it gives you all these little, you know, behind the scenes featurettes and stuff. I know there's a lot of stuff on YouTube now, but back in the day, I mean, the DVD, when DVDs came out, they were remarkable. I've still got the Star Wars VHS tapes. I think it was the last VHS tapes before they made them the special edition, or they might be the special edition, I'm not sure, but they came in a big black box, like with the Imperial logo, like stenciled on it, stamped on it, and in it there was extra tapes, like 3-hour video cassettes with just like loads of featurettes about the making of the Star Wars movies, the original Holy Trilogy. And just really just amazing stuff. And then that was sort of the precursor to the DVD era, where you had, you know, it was probably only about, 12, 13 years when it was like the heyday of DVDs, when a movie will come out. And it wasn't just the film on a disc. It was like so much more than that. Then the ultimate sort of the pinnacle of that was the Lord of the Rings extended edition releases, which were just magical. Like, really going behind the scenes. You'd watch the movie and then you'd watch all the other bits. You could spend the whole day, which I did on the Christmases of 2002, 2003, 2004, watching this stuff. It was amazing stuff. Whatever happened to the promise of being able to view DVDs with extra scenes or not? That never really happened. Me and Catherine were talking about this the other day, because I'm a budding script writer. Like, I've written a few scripts and I want to write more. And we were talking about how much we love Clue, the movie Clue, because it's brilliant. And I was just like, with the technology we've got now, and thinking about Bandersnatch, you know, the Charlie Brooker film, and also thinking of the Monty Python record they brought out with 2 grooves in it. It's a classic quiz question. How many grooves does a record have on each side? And you think, it must be hundreds. No, it's got one. It's one groove. It's a spiral, right? Well, Monty Python put out a LP of comedy sketches, but it had 2 grooves in it. So depending on where you dropped the needle, and there was no way of knowing which one you were going to drop it into, you'd get a different sketch. And I'm thinking, if you could put that together, and the idea of like secret tracks that we used to get on DVDs, you've got streaming now. You could have a movie in which, especially with the advent of AI, you could make hundreds of different endings to this movie, or just hundreds of slightly different things. So every time you watch the freaking movie, it's a bit different. Could you imagine? Because if you think about it, if you had like, I don't know, if you made various points of the movie, different things happen that have knock-on effects. But it's not like the movie stops, because I don't like that. You know, when it's like, choose your own adventure, where you have to stop. Bandersnatch was fun for like, you know, a one-off, but you wouldn't want to do it all the time, would you? It just randomly took you to a different ending, just depending on when you watched it. So you would never know. You'd never get the same movie twice. Oh, that'd be brilliant. Because then when people go, oh, you know what, how that movie should have ended? Well, it can. You can end it any way you want. But, you know, the technology's there. You know, the minds are willing, but the flesh is weak. Right, One Angry Pagan. I think that's going to be the last super chat of the evening, because I'm going to have to sign off now because it is 11 o'clock and I know that Catherine wants to go to bed. She's worked very, very hard today. It is Christmas Day and we shouldn't be working, but you know, we have 4 kids round, and also Catherine's parents and her brother and my and his wife. So yeah, it's been a full house. It's been a full house. So thank you very much to One Angry Pagan for the £2 super chat. I remember that Python record, says Gary Arnold. Yeah, I love that stuff. I love, like, you get a DVD, a CD, and you rewind the first track. I think you did that on the first Ash album, 1977. You rewound the first track, and there was a secret bonus track if you rewound the first track. Or the Nirvana album, where you famously let it run to, like, track 99, and then there was a weird little track on the end of it. I also think the Downward Spiral by Nine Inch Nails did the same thing. Which messes up streaming, by the way. If you ever try and stream those albums that had secret tracks on, it sometimes the algorithm hasn't been updated properly, and it's like you just get like half an hour of just silence, and you're like, what? I got Graham's audiobook. Yes, I should do my audiobook. I should do that in my audiobook. I have loads of different endings for it. Bradford Cinema, glitter ball, accelerating with a spot on it, rising rocket, engine sound loud before Star Wars even started. Ooh, brilliant. I remember books where you had to pick different options to go to different pages to tell. So yeah, choose your own adventure. Yeah. And there were Nightmare books that came out in the 90s, you know, the kids TV show Nightmare, and they would choose your own adventure books as well. It was really cool. Foster also wrote The Pale Rider, The Thing, Starman, Last Starfighter, Outland, Chronicles of Riddick, The Clash of the Titans, and loads more. He must have made a crazy amount of money in royalties. Well, back then, you couldn't rewatch the movie. You literally had to go out and read the book to remember what bloody happened in the thing. Yeah, you mentioned Clue, but Clue is such a great movie. And what they did when Clue came out, in different cinemas, they showed different endings. I know you've seen the version that I've seen on tape, on VHS or on TV, where they show all 4 different versions. But when they came out the cinema, 3 versions or 4 versions, there's one where Miss Peacock did it. There's one where they all did it. There's one where Colonel Mustard did it, I think. But, you know, if there were like 12 different versions where each character did it, and whenever you watch that movie, it just automatically gave you a different ending. So you'll be sitting there going, I know we did this, I know. And then it'll turn out to be someone completely different. Tim Curry's still alive, you know. That's all I want to say. Tim Curry is still alive. Well done, Kat. We know you're there, says Billy Kershaw. Yeah, the wind beneath my wings. Okay, so I'll be back tomorrow morning for another morning brew. For a morning brew, I should say. I hope you've enjoyed this Christmas brew. We were going to talk about AI. We ended up talking about aliens. That didn't really work, did it? We put the AI in Alien. And that got me on to talk about movies, which is one of my favourite things to talk about. So, you know, tough. And who wants to talk about politics on bloody Christmas Day? Eh? We just want to get drunk and that's it, really. And go to bed full of food and chocolate. Mad Magazine have plastic versions of those records. Merry Christmas. Thanks, Graham. Light and peace from Ernie. You too, mate. Light and peace, man. Light and peace. I love that. Okay, so listen. Have a great end of the night. Get your head down if you're tired and you're full of food. I hope you had an all right day. I know some people, Christmas isn't a particularly great time of year for various reasons, and we need to understand that and not like just and be there for our friends. So if there's any of your mates out there you still haven't texted today to say, you know, just checking in, seeing how you're getting on, please do that. Please do that now, as soon as this finishes. And happy Christmas. Happy Christmas, season's greetings, whatever floats your boat at this time of year, whether it's Hanukkah, whether it's Kwanzaa, or whatever, or maybe you're just you celebrate the pagan god of Mithras on the 25th of December, whatever floats your boat. Please just make sure that you look after yourselves, and to channel my inner Jerry Springer, look after each other, seriously, because the year ahead is going to be a tough one for all of us, and we need to be there for each other. It's as simple as that. So that's my Christmas message. be there for each other. And, always make sure to see the humour, even in the darkest corners, because that lets the light in. I struggle with Christmas a lot, says Power to the People, but I've had a nice day and it's over now. Yeah, exactly. So thank you so much. Just watched the last Gavin and Stacey, says Sarah. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. And until tomorrow, I will say thank you so much for watching. Gives a like on the way out, as always. And until next time, hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.